What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams. As always, I'm joined by Shannon Times.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion. Thursdays will be another throwback. I'll try to find something that kind of mirrors what we're talking about this week, which it's all about breaching or breaches. So it's a week full of cybersecurity incidents. And then Friday, everything else, movies, books, games. So if you want to hear us talk about no spoilers, but like Loki and things of that nature. We watched it, so we'll discuss it spoiler free, our opinions and all that good stuff. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article actually comes from Mashable.com, written by Matt Binder. And the title of it is An Entire State's Population Just Had Its Data Stolen in a Ransomware Attack. So this is a little misleading, right? Because they say that it just happened. They just had their data stolen, but actually this is in relation to, so this is what Ryan talks about when he talks about, everything being timely on the podcast, right? This was from the Move It hack, which we did cover, right? So like we covered Move It when it happened, and it was back in May, June, something like that, right? I think it was May, because in the article they reference that this is actually something from back in May. But the state of Maine, their official state government website, 1.3 million people, residents, have had their data stolen as part of a ransomware attack that was first discovered on May 31st of this year. So 1.3 million individuals, right, who are getting provided services from the state of Maine. So like if you're getting, almost always when you're getting services provided, by a government entity or something like that, like they got all the good stuff, right? They got the socials, the mother's maiden name, all that stuff you're going to be asked, like to open up, to start credit card accounts and all these things that are going to be profitable to cyber criminals. They have all that information, right? So the fact that it's out there, what's a little disheartening to me is that Maine is just now letting people know this, right? So like the fact that it happened in May, because we reported on it, right? Like we were first on the ground. We had the mics, the Kevlar helmets, you know what I mean? Like we were reporting all of it.
Like the AP news out here.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like with the vests on that say press, we had all that. Not really, but and we appreciate those people that are out there doing that. I do. I know they're putting their lives in danger when they're out there on the front lines.
Right.
But so I don't want to make light of it, but yeah, like it took them 5 months to get to this point where they made people aware of it, right? So it's a cause for concern because they don't know how much data they have. They just know that they got data that was lost. And again, if you're getting any type of services or anything from your state, like they don't do that off nothing, right? They got the driver's license IDs, social security numbers, all that stuff. Like this is one of those things where it can just keep paying for it. It just keeps paying for itself when it comes to cyber criminals, right? They're gonna have all this information where they could jump off and do other things, right? Like in the previous story we were talking about, right? They were talking about how your email addresses were taken, right? That's how they do their social engineering, right? When they start putting those phishing scams and stuff out there, like it's the gift that keeps on giving, but not in a good way. You know what I'm saying? If you're on the receiving end of it, I guess you could say. If you're the cyber criminal, yes, it's great. You know what I mean? They're hoping crime pays, which we tell you not to pay, so that crime does not pay and this does not happen. But
right,
people don't seem to be listening to that. But yeah, so. Yeah, 1.3 million people for the state of Maine, and like this is one of those things where they're talking about what they could potentially have, right? They mentioned social security number, date of birth, driver's license, or state ID number, taxpayer ID number, which means they could probably be out there starting a business in your name, right? Medical information, health insurance information can also be affected. So it's not just PII, it's PHI as well. Like, now they shut off the access to Move It, right, as soon as the breach was discovered. But again, like the fact that it's getting to this point now, right? We're 5 months later. This was May 31st. We're in November now. 5 to 6 months later, having people be notified. Like this is what irks me a little bit, right? So like they think they know who the cyber criminal group is. It's a group called CLOP, right? But and they say the data has yet still to be released by the ransomware group, but there's nothing saying they have to release it as soon as they get it, right? They could be waiting. They could be waiting down the line, let it die down, right? Because again, this is 5 months ago. Maine is just now letting the residents know that it's that they were affected. So they could wait a year, year and a half, 2 years, and then all of a sudden you start getting stuff after you've forgotten about all of this, right? You've already done your life lock. You're not really paying attention to it anymore, right? Because that's the fix for everything is life lock, right? I don't know what they're really going to do for these people, but um, yeah, I just they took a long time to report it. Um, it is what really gets me. I mean, the fact that it's out there, I mean, it just happens, right? There's no putting that genie back in the bottle, but we just got to have these states doing better with cybersecurity. And this is kind of a hard one, right? Because like when we reported it on Move It, like that's a hard one to kind of get around, right? Like it's not that the states weren't doing what they needed to do, or not that the victims weren't doing what they needed to do, but this is just a hard one to deal with. But here we are, another ransomware attack, right? Affecting 1.3 million residents of a state, right? That have the juicy information. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see where it goes from here. And like Ryan says to y'all all the time, it's timely, right? It will be this will be a past event that will become current as this did. You know what I'm saying? So it's just we'll see what happens down the road. And hopefully it's not so bad for people that will become victims of this, but we'll see. Ryan, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It just keeps, like you said, the gift that keeps on giving. It's like an STD, like like it just keeps happening over and over and over again due to the initial issue with Move It, right? So what is I don't think we've addressed Move It in some time. So Move It it's software. It's supposed to encrypt data at rest and in motion, and provides IT security controls for sensitive business data with tamper evident audit logging, multi-factor authentication, and enterprise grade tools for calibration. Move It is essential ingredient in meeting HIPAA, GDPR, and ISO 27001. Um, yeah, so it was being used by every major sector, to include government. We talked about the DoD being affected by it. We talked about the medical sector. So John Hopkins is being sued because of it. And now we have entire state of Maine was rocked. So that's to say, like Maine just now advertised it. So what about the other states that may have been using it in some capacity, right? It's it's a pretty big company. It's being utilized in many different facets. So we'll be talking about Move It that's forever, just like we talk about SolarWinds forever. This is very unfortunate. So if you have fallen victim to this, you need to be on the lookout for phishing attempts, spam emails, random phone calls, which we'll talk about in the next episode for those who are affected by a different breach. Um, like everything's on the table. I don't know if like Flack will be the solution, but it typically is, like you said. Um, it's kind of tiring, right? Well, you talk about the same thing over and over and over again, but I think it's important because everybody's not getting the same information or getting it from the same sources, and they don't know they may be affected by this, right? Or they might just throw that letter away from Maine. They might be like, "What is this junk mail?" and toss it. Um, so like the
Did,
remedy
did,
really
did
is.
they did they actually send them a letter though, or did they just post it on their
I think
government
they
site?
have to. I think that's part of I think they
Okay,
have to send you a letter in case you don't see
okay,
it for whatever reason. Like that's the de facto. Like if you don't get it, if you don't get it from anywhere else, you'll get it in the mail and then you'll throw it away. Because people don't read their junk mail, right?
yeah.
Unless it looks like a check, it ain't getting opened. So we'll see what the future holds on that one. But yeah, Move It's going to keep coming up, unfortunately, because of its utility, what it was supposed to be used for, and still is probably being used for. Um, and there are more than 1.3 million residents of Maine, but slightly more. So pretty much the entire state was affected.
Yeah, I was like, how many more is it? Like,
Slightly more. So not every resident of Maine,
it's
but
like 1.305, maybe. Like, I don't know.
right. So yeah, but that's the only way you're going to protect yourself. Like, so this goes for I think everybody should be on the lookout, um, like everywhere, like all the time. But that's kind of being paranoid. But with Move It being affected and how many facets it's affecting, how many sectors it's affecting, I think everyone should be checking their accounts, their usernames, their passwords. Maybe you start resetting things. Maybe you think of a new theme for this year. Maybe 2024 is when you reset all your passwords. You know what I mean? Like reign in the new year with a new set of passwords everywhere. Because I'm thinking about doing it myself. Because I've been involved like 2023. I had to be involved at least two breaches because I know T-Mobile got hit. Like, that's an annual occurrence, right? And then next topic that we talk about, I was involved in that one. I'm sure the federal government's been hit at some point, right? Well, us veterans. So 2024, I'm saying it is the year of the new password. You should probably reset your passwords coming up because you've been compromised in some way somehow. It's been a very bad couple years. Um, but yeah, if you have not already, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit a bell if there's a bell involved. Trying to get our numbers up. We're doing really well. I just want to continue to share, and I'm really bad at it on socials. I always think like I'm gonna get banned from a community for sharing the episode, but I'm gonna start doing it more often because I'm not gonna share the entire episode. I'm gonna start breaking it into more clips. I think that's a good idea, right? Just give our little gems out there, feed the people. You don't have to come to us. You just get this 3 minute clip. But if you want to come get the 15-minute episode, you should come over. Check us out, right? But yeah, just continue to please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate all the feedback. I'm getting a lot more of it on socials, so we appreciate that as well. I'm not good at responding on YouTube. I'm trying to get better at it. I just don't see it. I don't know how I can get a better notification system out there. But if you hit us up on Facebook and LinkedIn, I try to always respond. So definitely do that. Like I always say we, like as though me and Shannon are responding. Shannon's not on social media. It's me. We is me. So definitely continue to reach out to us. Again, please like, share, subscribe. Hit us up at all the socials that go by our name. Give me a person. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me on Clubhouse, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.